Hello, everybody. This is Devin Henderson. I am going to be talking about compliance today and our compliance framework that we have built into the Virtual Dojo. So, what you're looking at here is the compliance dashboard. This is how you create an assessment. I'm going to go ahead and create a sample one so you can see it. You see, right now we currently support CMMC Level 2 and the NIST 800-171. Today, I'm going to do CMMC Level 2. And I'm just going to put in a draft assessment name, just something we're working on. So CMMC Level 2 Annual Assessment. Target completion date. Just going to set this about a month out. And the assessment type, just an annual assessment. The description is optional, so I'm just going to skip that. Go ahead and click Next. And this is just a review. We're doing a CMMC Level 2 audit. Here's the name. And I'm going to click Create Assessment. So what this does is it creates kind of a generic thing to let me know there's 110 controls I need to meet. Currently, I haven't done any of them because I don't have anything added in here. So you see this is kind of what our dashboard looks like. Talks about the assessment, start date, controls. Not a whole lot in here because we haven't done anything yet. So let's go ahead and get started. So here's all the controls in detail. It'll kind of go through and look at all this stuff. So this includes both policies, and it also includes some technical controls. Some are a combination of both. So let's go ahead and collect some evidence. So right now, and this is where things are going to be kind of in beta. We are currently working on automated collection and a script-based collection. I'm going to show you this script-based collection, which we may or may not go live with. My preference is the automated collection, but in the meantime, let me show you what we've built so far. So if I'm going to go ahead and connect my Microsoft 365 in here so that I can audit it, here's the script that we would run to go through and check my Microsoft 365 environment, right? So it downloads it as a PowerShell script. You would run that. I'm going to show you what an example import looks like. So when it runs, it generates a JSON file. And here's my evidence. This is just a dummy evidence file that we created for testing. So you see right here, I've got 20 stats that I'm pulling in. And I can see, like, here's a whole bunch of stuff that I pulled in from the script. All right, here's controls. Here's things that I say that I've done. Pretty straightforward there. Now, we can go through and add additional evidence. You see right here where our automated collection in here. Right now we don't have any connections to external providers. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. If we go to settings, and then we can click into these. And this is just the basic list we've started off with. So a lot of, Microsoft 365, Google, we're going to be adding in here. And this is how we connect. Really straightforward. You're going to see something from our developer Abhishek right here connecting because he has credentials. And basically I'm just saying, like, hey, I need read access. You notice this is only read access to everything and accept. And that sets up all the read access to be able to see the policies and things like that. So let's go back to our assessment. We can see what that looks like now that we've got it connected. So assessments, click the one that we've already started, and you'll see evidence and collect evidence. And if I click in your automated collection, I've got right here, and then I can just click and connect it now so I can see all this data. So this allows you to automate this on a monthly basis, right? And then there's the manual method, right? Like, here's the things that I said I did, and I can upload screenshots and different things in here. Maybe I don't want to connect my system at all, or it's some third-party system that we don't have direct integration with. So you can basically upload an evidence collection manually in here, right? So there are going to be a few things that people have implementations that we don't have integrations for, but we plan on adding several of those. All right, so let's take a look at this gap analysis, right? So I know I got a bunch of controls to meet. I did connect some stuff. What do I need to do? So this gap analysis runs, and it takes a bit of time the first time we run it. And what you're going to see is it's going to go through and check all the controls against the things we're looking for. It's going to do it for every single one of the 110 controls, and it's going to look through all of our policy documents, our procedures documents, and when we're done, it's going to give us a gap that lets us know what we need to do. Right? In the perfect world, you're going to see that there is no gap, but this is the first time we've run it, right? So the first time you run it in your environment, it's going to tell you exactly what you need to do to get all of this stuff cleaned up. We're going to let this run for a couple seconds. All right, here's our gap analysis. So it lets us know we have some findings on some of these controls, right? We've got 1, 2, 3 findings. So these are things that you need to say, here's how I go through and do a remediation on them, right? So the other option is obviously you could turn it into a poem, something that you're going to definitely complete. Here's all the commands you need to do to change these settings so that you meet the requirements. What we're trying to give you is not only like, hey, there's a finding, but these are the things you need to do to get this thing updated, along with an explanation, which I love, right? So lets you know exactly all the things you need to do. And here's the things we've done so far. So think of this as kind of your journal of what you've done. And here's the rest of the controls, right? So there's a bunch of controls there's no evidence on, so it lets us know that we need to do something with those. So currently we've got 12% complete, 20 controls found. We've got 4 findings that we have to deal with. Okay, I want to point out too that this is just the first time we've created this dashboard, right? So this will look a little different. This is just a draft of what we've got so far. We're going to change it just a little bit based on some tweaks and things, but again, building in public, we want to show you what this looks like. So here is my assessment, my overview, lets you know what we're looking at. There is a view for a auditor to go in and look at a read-only view of this so they can do evidence download and collection and things like that. So we also have the NIST 800-171 in here, so you can upload all these findings and things into the SPRS website as well. So one thing that's kind of great is with the CMMC controls and the NIST controls, we can share evidence between these, right? Since there's some common elements here, right? So if you have one policy document that covers things that happens to be applicable for both NIST and CMMC, you don't have to have your users reviewing multiple documents when they're the same thing. So you get the idea on what this looks like. So this is just kind of showing you the evidence. We've already collected a lot of this, so it goes really, really quickly. So pretty handy. Not too bad for initial draft version of this product. So more coming, but I just wanted to share with what we've got so you can see all this. We've already made a number of changes to this based on some feedback and things that we've added. So looking for your feedback. If you have things that you want to make sure it does or doesn't do, please let us know. Please comment. This is the only way we can make this thing work better for everybody. We're really trying to make this intuitive as much as possible for all small business government contractors. So again, my name is Devin Henderson, and this is our compliance framework tool for Virtual Dojo.